In today's video, I'm going to be breaking down some simple 3-out, 2-in basketball offenses that you could run with pretty much any age group that you coach. Whether you coach a smaller elementary team or a more advanced high school team, these will still work. So let's get down. Let's check this out really quickly. If you want to have a killer defense that doubles the low post and traps the corners, make sure to go check out my unbeatable basketball zone defense down in the description below. So as the name implies, 3-out, 2-in basically means that there are 3 players on the perimeter and 2 players in the low post. Here in this first play, we're running up against a man-to-man defense, and we can actually do this quite well and quite easily. So how we are going to do this is like this. This first play is a little bit advanced, but still very simple for all age groups. We're going to have player 1 pass to either player 2, or he can pass over to player 3. It doesn't necessarily matter. What matters is what these 2 players are able to do and read. So what I mean by that is if player 1 passes to player 2, player 5, because it came from the pass was made to this side, it's going to be player 5 setting that screen up for player 1. Player 1 is then going to cut using that screen to the rim. While player 1 is cutting to the rim, player 2 better be looking to see if player 1 is open. If player 1 is not open, let's say his man follows him, player 5 now takes that top spot, and player 1 then screens away for player 4, and player 4 will then take that low post. If he's open, passing the ball, potential layup. If he's not open, then because we're running a motion style offense, and motion style offenses are always the easiest, player 2 would then pass, let's say, to player 5, and because the pass came from this side and went towards the left side, that means that the left post comes up and sets that screen for player 2. Player 2 will then use that screen, and if he's open, then player 5 could pass player 2 the ball for the layup. If he's not open, he's going to go to this post, and depending on how you would like to run this, personally, myself, I like to have him just to have the same continuity, screen away for the post. Player 4 may be then open. If not, then of course, they just fill out. And now let's say player 5 passes to this side. Player 4 at this time, because it was passed to the left side, will set the screen. Player 5 will use the screen, and if he's open, player 3 will pass player 5 the ball. Player 5 would then be able to get that layup. Again, if he's not open, he sets that screen away for player 2. Player 2 uses that screen. If he's open, then of course he could get that layup. If not, then we just continue on with this same play. If player 4 is ever not open, let's say this pass just cannot get to player 4, then player 4 needs to read that, screen away for player 1 to fill the top spot so that now player 1 gets that ball. Now when that happens, same thing applies here and here, where now player 5 comes up, sets that screen. Player 3 then uses that screen. If he's open, hit him up with a pass, could get a layup. So many different options. Again, same idea, screen away. If he doesn't get that ball, player 2 goes to this post, and now we're back again to that same 3-out offense that is just so useful and handy. Next, let's say we go up against a 2-3 zone and we need to overload the side in some way. Well, let's say player 1 passes to player 5. If that was to happen, then we would have obviously the defense shift like so, and we would then have player 1, usually this would be a trap up there, but player 1 will go to this corner and player 2 will then go to this high post, create essentially an overload. Quick, fast passes will help get some threes potentially, get that ball into the low post potentially. After you pass to the post, you can cut. There's so many different options. You always want to move off ball, but this is more of a set play. Or at least what I like to call a set play. Player 1 passes to the post. He then, of course, cuts through. He may be open. If he's not, he then fills out. We can then have player 4 relocate up top. Player 2 relocate down low. We can possibly have a kick out pass to player 5 or to player 4. And then we can set ourselves back up in, let's say we get a kick out pass, back in that 3 out, 2 in, where we can run potentially another 5 out or another 3 out, 2 in. It's totally up to you, but this is just a simple way of getting into an overload to score. Because when you're going up against a zone, you generally want to overload the side. Now, if you overload something like my unbeatable defense, which is down in the description, it's going to really be hard to overload because we kind of have everything covered, and as soon as you get that ball to the corner, it's a trap, and you're basically having your play broken up or blowing up or whatever you want to call it. So into this next third play. So again, this is more of a set play as well, and this is a simple play that really even second graders and first graders could probably run. And with this one, all it is you're going to start with your big guys up on the wings, so your tallest players. You're going to have your shortest players down low. And what you're going to try and do is have players 4 and 5 set pin down screens for, of course, those players down in the post, and then those players are going to then pop up. What you're really hoping for is there to be a switch called. If there's a switch called on one side, then of course you really want to get that ball to that side, get that ball down low, because you want to take advantage of that height advantage down in that low post. It's a super simple play that you can run, and of course it's going to be very useful to most teams. And what you're hoping for in that last one is, again, just for there to be a switch. If there isn't a switch, you can continue on with whatever 3 out or 5 out offense that you're running. So make sure to go check out the Unbeatable Basketball Zone Defense book down in the description below, but also my 5 out complete guide if you want to run the 5 out offense instead of the 3 out offense. I'll see you guys again next time.